Welcome back to What She Said Sports. All right, so I'm just waiting for the crew to join us. Tonight, we are doing an analysis of Georgia Tech versus Colorado. Uh, everybody's playing the new college football 25, so we're going to talk about some of the games that were played and we're going to analyze the results. We can't show the game here, but I think we're going to be playing it on Twitch pretty soon. So hopefully you already signed up on Twitch. It's free. We'll be going live playing some games there. I'm excited. Hey, how you doing, Tina? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are just giving people time to join us, and then we're going to start analyzing the game. Okay, so just give it a minute for everybody to join us. I did a short intro because we were just live, so I didn't want to do a full length intro. Let's see if y'all can see what I put together. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. That. Oh, hold on. I gotta fix it. All right, so y'all can see the background. Good. Okay, so if you can see the background, then you can pretty much tell that I put together a list of the results. I'm going to move myself down to the bottom so y'all can see it. Well, at least that's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to move myself down to the bottom. Okay. Let's see. All right. I don't know if you can see, but there's Caden on the right. And behind that, I actually have some scores. So that's what I was kind of hoping that y'all could see, but it looks like it put me right in the middle. And wouldn't you know I tested this first? Let's see. Okay, so I'll just try to use it as an image. Just give me a second. All right, it'll still come up, but it'll come up as an image. All right. Let's see. All right, so it moved me over to the side. All right, so this is what the results were. I'm gonna make me smile, make it larger. Okay, so this is what the results were. Now the game that I played, well, I didn't play, but the game that I watched was on Show Games. There's several games out there now, so I don't know if y'all had a chance to watch anybody, but Colorado won this game. Now, yesterday, Gracie's son played the game. He played several modes, simulation, and then he played where he could control the teams. And then I think he was going to play again when the play calling was different. So I actually took notes, and that's what we're going to talk about. So we won the game 21-23. We ended up with Caden was the quarterback. Dallin Hayden all the way through was the running back. There was no change in quarterback. There was no change in running back. What was different were the receivers. It wasn't the freshmen. It was JoJo, Draylon Miller, Cam McHale, Omarion. Those were the guys that were the receivers for this particular game. And Colorado had 232 passing yards, which was good, right? Caden is what? A dual threat. So he had, there's 60 yards total for the run game, including some runs from Caden and Dallin Hayden. Now, the announcers were actually pretty complimentary of Dallin Hayden. They talked about how he fights for every inch he get, which that's good to hear, because I felt like we needed that last year. Average yards per play, 9.7. You can see they won on rushing, but we won on passing. One of the limitations for their quarterback, at least last year for sure, is what? The passing ability. Now, mind you, we won the game. As you can see, they had the ball the most. We had the ball the least. They converted the most first downs. We struggled with that, right? Surprisingly, even with the run game and the passing game, which having 232 yards, we still struggled with converting run and passing. And I looked at this and I said, okay, one thing about it, yes, it is a video game. But I will tell you this, as somebody who understands analytics through and through, this is a study aid. What it does is it points out the weaknesses. It points out, oh, you can't see it? Let me know if you can see it. It's only 4 of us. So let me know if you can see it, Tina. Let me see. So I'm waiting to see if she can see it. Welcome if you're just not joining us. We're analyzing the game that everybody's playing. I just saw somebody play, I guess people are doing like a fantasy. Georgia versus Florida, even though they play each other, but somebody played them in college football 25. So I'm waiting to see if Tina can see it. Let's see. Who's that? Somebody else can see it. So, hey, Amber, you said you could see it. Okay, good. I think she meant earlier. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay, there she is. That was earlier. Okay, good. So, okay, yes, it's a video game, but it is a video game based on analytics of skill set, right? The plays, in my opinion, I think they just studied last year's plays for a lot of schools, right? And took those games, translated it in the code, put it in there, and then this year's players' skill set with somebody else's plays from somewhere. I don't know where these plays come from. But one thing I learned from listening to watching other people play, Gracie's son said it, and even I noticed it. One of my notes, if you change the play calling, then you have a chance to see what's really this like the real deal. So play calling was the first thing that jumped out at me that was problematic. Now notice we didn't have the ball as much. We got started late on defense. Offense was fine. There was no issue with pressure except for late in the third quarter, where Caden went down. I think it was a series. It was like a ball got batted down, then he went down. It was almost given like a Shador type situation, but late in the game. Offense was stellar. It was like the UCF game. Everything was clicking. The run game was going. Now, in my opinion, I felt like this is where I could see they was using last year's plays. When we played last year with the run game, we didn't really get anywhere. If you notice, we only have 60 rushing yards, and Caden used his legs quite a few times. So I still feel like in this game that was a problem. But even though defense got started late, just like it did the Nebraska game, we started clicking. This is why I say this came from another game. This is so reminiscent of last year. A few games that you could call out. Nebraska starting late, defense finally getting clicking, not holding their assignments first, but coming up the rear. And it worked. It didn't work in Nebraska, but it worked here. It worked because the O-line was consistent. So with Caden as the quarterback, the O-line was just plugging away until defense caught up to it. When defense caught up, it worked. We just still had problems converting. But both teams could score. And that's what I mean by this is a study aid. You could see the weaknesses for CU came on defense, starting late, missing assignments, and CU won the game, right? Won the game with a field goal, but it ended up being a 1-point game. But guess who ended up being player of the game? Georgia Tech's quarterback. Why? Because defense was not stopping, not the run, but the quarterback. Remember, this quarterback relies more on his legs with the run pass option because he's not as accurate through the air. He can lob one down the field. That's our strength. But he likes to run. He scored 3 touchdowns by himself because the defense was not stopping the run pass option. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be a problem because sometimes I don't know what it is about our defense, but the reason why I said this game was reminiscent of other games, one of my complaints about the defense last year, it's like they didn't watch film. And I know they watch film, but it's like they had to figure out who they were playing in the game. It's like they didn't come equipped and have a defense ready for this school because they quarterback like to run the pass option. They're going to use their running back a lot because the quarterback is not good through the air. It's like you're supposed to know that. And when it's like you can't just run a vanilla defense. You can't just run man and think that you're going to have everything covered because you don't expect any trick plays. That was a big miss with us last year. And that one play where the running back just kept running into the damn end zone and we couldn't stop it. It's the same thing, except for it's the quarterback. Because it's like we're playing a vanilla man defense and we don't think, oh, there's going to be a run pass option here. That's why he had three touchdowns. That's going to happen in real life if that's how they play. And if we sit there and see that happen 3 times, we're going to pull our hair out. Because if it happened on a video game, that's something that they do. You probably can go watch Georgia Tech film against Miami, Georgia Tech film against whoever they play, Duke or whatever. You're going to see them do that. That's what their quarterback does. Now, mind you, I thought the player of the game for Georgia Tech should have been their running back. But we didn't have a problem stopping the run. We had a problem stopping the run pass option. And it early on. That's why we were playing catch up damn near the whole game. And at one point I felt like we got a little leverage, but we didn't keep it. And both teams can score. So for the people who thought it was going to be a blowout, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout unless Colorado don't want to play football that day. I think it's going to be a close game in reality. I said 31-28. This game was 21-23. And it could have been higher, but we could not convert on first down. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have that problem in reality. Now, we might, in reality, stop the run pass option. But one thing about CU, we didn't do a lot of trick plays and we weren't ready for a lot of trick plays. So I have a problem with the defense, in my opinion. Now, late in the game, Taufik Bayard came in right at the last drive for Georgia Tech before the end of the game, before we scored again. So say 2 drives, 1 drive each for the most part. 2 for them, 1 for us. Taufik Bayard came in. He a dog in real life. He came in and sacked the quarterback to stop what? The run pass option. Now, if you could do that at the end of the game, how do you not know to do that in the beginning of the game when it's Georgia Tech? And I'm telling you, I have seen this happen in real life. That's how we lost that Kansas State game. Those same type loop plays up at the top. People get exasperated. We don't understand why it is we're not ready for this. It's not that the guys are just getting burned. They look bewildered like they don't know what's coming, but that's what the team runs. So while this is a video game, this is also something that points out the glaring weaknesses of both teams. If I can point out that Hayes King runs in a video game because in real life he's inaccurate, then that's a real life scenario unless he's been training over the summer and his accuracy suddenly is a miracle, just like Colorado, right? We can stop the run, but can we stop the trick play? Can we stop the run pass option? That's really it. That's really it. Play defense for who we're playing that day. You cannot pull out a vanilla defense and use it against a team that has trick plays. A run pass option is a trick play, in my opinion. Maybe for some other people it's not, but it is. So, yes, it's a video game, but it is based on the skills of the players. In particular, the way Dallin Hayden ran last year, you see it this year. He is more effective and fighting more for every inch. That was nice to hear. It was also nice to hear that, the running game is more effective. Even though it's only 60 yards, it's still more effective than it was. Did you notice we didn't have any negative plays? Caden, I think, at one point threw a ball away instead of having a negative play. They talked about that. So Coach Prime is right. This is a much better team. But with bad plays, we can sink the ship. So just like in the game, you have to change the play calling. You have to do the same thing, because I'm gonna tell y'all how this went down in the game. I'm gonna check y'all comments first and see what y'all are adding to it. Let's see. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, good food. Welcome back. It said, what does it say? It say, I noticed that too. The few games I watched, right? And let's see. It says similar to the Texas Tech game last year, the defense wasn't helping out at all. Right. The defense came to the games with a vanilla playbook for defense. And at one point we was running zone and people was like, we need to be running man, but we needed more than that. We didn't have trick plays and we weren't prepared for trick plays. I didn't understand that. I used to be like, did y'all watch film? Because y'all playing like y'all don't know who these people are and you needed the first quarter to figure it out. That's how they play defense. That's insane to me. I feel like all the film watching that they supposed to be doing, you got to get ready for Georgia Tech. You're not just getting ready for a football game and you're going to find out when you get there who you're playing. That's the way they played defense last year. That's why defense wasn't good. And also, too, the same problem cropped up in the game. That's how I know that a lot of this is from last year. Losing at the line of scrimmage for defense. Now, while in the game, they got the offense together, because they got different players. They went with the ratings. They had 2 players on offense with a 90. So the offense looks better. We changed out players. But on defense, we were still losing at the line of scrimmage. We still started late. That's play calling. To put Taufik Bayard out there in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and then you let him sack Haynes King. He should have been doing that. That's what he should be doing. Every time they see number 11, Haynes King need to get nervous. Taufik Bayard is a dog, like in real life. So in the game, I felt like it was pointing out Colorado's weakness was defense, starting late, not knowing who the hell we playing, not ready for trick plays, can't handle the trick plays, and just playing a vanilla defense and losing at the line of scrimmage. That's what happened in the game. So let me tell y'all my notes. Let's see. Hey, Crowley, how you doing? What's up? What's up? So I took 3 screenshots worth of notes because I just thought it was interesting. It says, okay, it said they said we can't stop the quarterback run option, the RPO, run pass option. That's what they say we can't do. When we get to this real life game, we better have that licked. We better have that licked because it's right here for you. Now that's what I mean by it's a study aid. So let's see. It says play calling is a problem. That's the number one thing. Right off the rip, they said we can't stop the run pass option, and play calling is a problem. To me, that's why the defense wasn't good last year. I know we got a defensive coordinator. We just paid him a lot of money. But maybe the guys just weren't doing their assignments because they kind of talked about that in the game. Early on, it was saying the defense was missing assignments. It said defense isn't physical at the line of scrimmage. They too mild-mannered. It said, and I'm shocked with that from last year because of Chidozie, right? Chidozie, Nakai Hill-Green, those guys were dogs. So it's saying that defense isn't physical at the line of scrimmage. It says losing the game at the line of scrimmage because we're falling behind. Because why? We're falling behind because we're letting the quarterback get out. That's supposed to be that. See, people was mad at Shiloh for missing tackles. What they don't know is Shiloh is a safety. He's supposed to be tackling them. That's what linebackers are for. That's what edge rushers are for. They're supposed to be the ones tackling. He's supposed to be out here trying to get an interception. But he did have to tackle a lot and he broke his arm. And that was another change that Coach Prime made because we lost a coach, I think, to Mississippi State. But I thought we lost him because we had Warren Sapp. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. It said what game? It said the run game. It said what game is ineffective. Let's see. It said 14-19 at the half. Buffs are up 17 to 14 in the third quarter. So we made it to the third quarter, from halfway to the third quarter with the score being up. It says they couldn't stop us from scoring. That's why the score was close. Both teams could score. Hell, we couldn't stop them and they couldn't stop us. But that was good they couldn't stop us, right? It says somebody was doing good with the sacks. Oh, okay, somebody was doing good with sacks. Surprisingly, nobody from Colorado got an interception. I thought that was interesting. And somebody else that watched the game said, surprisingly, they think the computer made Caden, who was a dual threat, play like a pocket passer. I say, see, that's what I mean. They got this from last year. Shador was a pocket passer. So that's what I think the computer did. It does. It takes the play and everything and how it played out from last year, and then it puts the new players on top of it, and it's just inserting them. But I do feel like Caden used his leg. Caden used his legs a lot. So yeah, that's what it said. There were no interceptions by Colorado. That was shocking. One person said Caden was forced to be a pocket passer, which was weird. It said Tech quarterback run pass option is killing the Buffs. Yep. He ended up scoring 3 touchdowns by himself. Not the running back, the quarterback. Now, you know damn well the quarterback shouldn't get past the line of scrimmage like that. And the safety. Come on. Well, we lose like that, you're going to hear about that. It said the receivers were Mikel, Draylon, and Omarion, and JoJo. It said, remember I was speaking into this, so it's all kind of stuff. It says start the run pass option. Caden started the run pass option. It was really, really what? It was good, I guess. He was effective. Now, he did keep their defense on the ropes with him running the run pass option. Now, with Caden being a dual threat, in my opinion, this is the most we get of trick plays. That's it. Colorado didn't have a lot of trick plays last year. It said Tech couldn't affect pressure on Caden until the fourth quarter, which with 7 minutes left. So he didn't even get pressured. Caden didn't get even pressured until the fourth quarter with 7 minutes on the clock. That's good, right? That means we have an O-line with the players that they use. Minus the play calling, but with the players that they used. It said 20-21. Georgia Tech is up by 1. So they scored again. Hell, probably the quarterback. Because he scored 3 times. He accounted for 7? He accounted for 21 points. And they had a field goal and missed. And then we had a field goal and won. Yep. Otherwise, we would have lost. It said Tawfiq Bayer, number 11, with the attack or a sack on the quarterback was good in the red zone. So they were in the red zone, and Tawfiq Bayer was used to sack the quarterback. Why they didn't do that in the first quarter, in the second quarter, so we don't be behind? It's like when we get to the red zone, and mind you, Colorado did have a good red zone defense. Colorado was really good in the red zone. But why did they have to come to that? Why do we have to keep starting late and trying to play catch up the whole way through and hope and pray they miss a field goal? That's what it is. That's exactly. Y'all know that's what happened in the Baylor game. It just wasn't a field goal. But yeah, we had to hope and pray they didn't get that touchdown, the one that Travis stopped. That was it. So Tawfiq Bayard, we need to watch him because I heard he's a dog. But as you can see, they had the ball for 14 minutes. We only had it for 9. They converted, we didn't. And that's why they had the ball for so long. So lack of first down conversions, 60 yards is really not a lot for a run game, especially when your own quarterback can run and you're not converting. So while there is a run game, hopefully it's better than this damn video game. I would think we would like to get 100 yards or 90. How many rushing yards they had? 130? I mean, we could get at least 100. It said wait with 2 minutes and 28 seconds on the clock. The Buffs got the ball back. And we got the ball back and needed it to score on this drive and make it the last drive. Okay, so we did get the ball back on our last drive. And I praised Colorado with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock. I said, okay, so we get the ball back with 2:37 left on the clock. We need to see some good clock management. Colorado got dinged. People said we were terrible with clock management. That's what they kept saying last year. We were terrible with clock management. They did pretty good. However, Caden threw a couple of deep balls in this game and it didn't connect. I'm like, okay, nah, he good. He's really a deep ball QB. I have no idea why it didn't connect, because even if that was Shador, it would have connected. So that part I thought was weird. Just like the deep ball accuracy did not connect. There were no interceptions. That's what CU is known for. Deep ball accuracy connecting as well as interceptions. Now, I thought that was kind of weird for that to be left out. And then we ate up the clock and we couldn't connect in the end zone for 7. So we settled for 3. And then when we settled for 3, that put us up by 1. And then time ran out because it was only like 30 some odd seconds left. So we did good. It said, so we did good. Tight end played number. Oh, that's what it was. The tight end was really good. Whoever number 85 is, he got us the first down. That was the first time I noticed we played with a tight end and it was late in the game. Maybe we should have did that earlier. I don't know. And it said Buffs won on the field. Buffs won with a field goal, 23-21. The ball game was great, but the wide receivers just didn't have hands in this game to connect and catch the ball. Excellent clock managed by the Buffs. So while it is a video game, excellent clock management to O-line with the players that we have. That's good. The same issues plagued us. Losing at the line of scrimmage. Hopefully that don't happen this year. I don't know who was on the line of scrimmage for defense. But remember, these are those players. So, see, the whole line of scrimmage thing, you can't blame that on play calling. That's effort, right? That's effort. Not stopping the quarterback 3 times, that's on the line of scrimmage. So, or maybe everybody, I think what I heard the guy say is everybody was preoccupied tackling somebody and the quarterback got away. But if you know you have a quarterback who's not good through the air, he's going to run. That is play calling. So the line of scrimmage, losing at the line of scrimmage is a problem. Play calling was a problem. The defense was the problem. Offense got it together. The run game, it could be better, in my opinion. If we can't convert on third down with the run game, we don't have a run game. That's how I feel about it. I'm just saying, especially if you have a quarterback that can run. You don't have a run game if it's your quarterback got half of the rushing yards and you don't convert on third down. Now, maybe that was from last year too. I don't know what made him play with Dallin Hayden, but I did think it was interesting. And that's his second time playing with the Buffs, playing with Dallin Hayden, playing with Caden. So let me see what y'all are saying. So we shall see. It says, right, safeties work the backfield. Right, Amber? So to have Shiloh, people were too hard on Shiloh without being hard enough and critical of the upfront linemen. Like, that's their job, right? That's their job. And when you see good defensive linemen and you can see how they hold or whatever, then quarterbacks don't get 3 touchdowns. Not if you know that he can't throw. If he has a passing issue, he's going to run. And if you could stop the running back, you should be able to stop the quarterback. So it's like they were prepared to stop a running game, but they were not prepared to stop the run pass option. So who did you expect you was playing today? That is a real criticism of the Buffs last year. That at the Nebraska game, you can go back and look at the Nebraska game. That was terrible. It was like, oh Lord, it took them a whole half or a whole quarter to figure out what to play. That was terrible. Coach Dancy is from the area close to Mississippi State. I think he just wanted to catch the opportunity back home. Probably so, because it is cold in Boulder. I was listening to Shiloh, who was training in Tampa, and he was talking about how hot it was when he was working out. And I was thinking about, I wonder the impact, like, with them being in Boulder for what? Well, he was in Mississippi first. Then they went up to Boulder for what, 2 years? 3 years? 3 years. No, 2 years, 2 years. This would have been his third. Then now he's in Tampa where the weather is closer to Mississippi, right? It might be more humid there too, but then again, it could be humid in Mississippi. So he's back in the same type of weather he had when he was in Mississippi. I wonder how much of a big difference that makes when it comes to working out. But he said working out in the heat is good because chances are it's going to be hot when they play games. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Especially like if they play the Panthers, the Saints, stuff like that. Well, the Saints play indoors, so, but their stadium is open. Let's see. Peter said, Pat Schumer has too many weapons to not make good play calls this year, right? Hell, he had too many last year. I just didn't understand the vanilla. I'm like, why we don't have no trick plays? I saw one trick play at CU in year one, and Pat Schumer was not there. That was when Shador threw the ball to Jimmy, and Jimmy threw the ball to somebody in the end zone. That's all I remember. I don't remember much else after that. That was kind of exciting, but that was it. A lateral, I guess. I think she means defensive play calling. Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. If I didn't say it, yep, that's what I mean. Offense looked solid last year to me, except the BYU game. Huh? You don't mean the O-line, do you? You don't mean the O-line, do you? Let me know. The Nebraska game? I am talking about the offense. Okay. Peter said he's talking about the offense. Okay. Let's see what else. Gracie said, I'm back. Okay. And Mac Freeman say, love you. Welcome, Mac. Welcome back. Love you too. Blue Moon say hi. Peter said at Amber, the defense had 7 sacks in that game. They turned up in the second half. Yep, that's true. Freeman Harris, how you doing? Hi, family. Amber said, I watched the highlights last weekend. I was shocked because Deion had an insane defense before. I don't know what happened to the defense. Florida is hot. Yep. Like Texas. Yep. That's bad. Jimmy threw it to Dylan. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a nice trick play. Let's get the likes up. Okay, thank y'all. Get the likes up. So all in all, it is a game, but it is based on analytics. So there's some reality here. The game, in my opinion, exposes weaknesses. If this is based on plays from last year, which it does appear to be, trying to force Caden into a pocket passer, which he's not. That's Shador. The one sequence where Caden had the ball batted down, then they sacked him. That was so reminiscent of Shador and a weak O-line. But there was not a weak O-line in this game. Not at any point. Like I said, there was no pressure until the end. The fourth quarter? But the defense was glaring. It's the same. It is really the same thing from last year with the different players. That's the problematic part that makes me think, okay, is play calling a problem? And when people like Gracie's son and other people say they played, they changed the play calling and they won. So what does that tell you? That last year, in addition to a weak O-line, ineffective run game, bad play calling, not sure what the hell was going on, losing at the line of scrimmage on defense. That's why Coach Prime said this team is a better team. He's right. And I've heard him say that before. He said, this team is a better team. I agree. Now, I pray. I'm going to hope and pray that the play calling is better, because it doesn't make sense to keep changing players, right? And we got the same OC in DC who are both over what? Play calling. So maybe next time we make a change, that needs to be it. I'm just saying. Because for all the praise that the defensive coordinator gets, I think it was just missed assignments. I really don't think so. I think a lot of it had to do when we played man, when we played zone, and who the hell we was playing and what did you plan for? That's what I mean. We're not ready for trick plays. We don't have no trick plays. Come on. You can't win like that. Vanilla plays, hell, anybody can have your playbook. So that's it in a nutshell. Good night, Crowley. Good night, good night, good night. So that's it in a nutshell. It was fun. Everybody now is online trying to play these games. I think we're gonna play a series of games. I think we're gonna do Georgia versus Colorado because it's a fantasy series. We never play Georgia, and we might try to do that next week because we still have 5 weeks before the season starts. So we have some time to maybe play some teams that they say we're gonna lose to. See, but just have fun with that. But we're gonna have to play it on Twitch. We cannot play it on here. So hopefully y'all have your Twitch account set up. It's free, and notifications on. And of course, I'll say it on here before we play it on there because we'll have to schedule it. So that's sometime I would think, hopefully next week, but I'll let y'all know for sure. But that's it, guys. It was a good game. We won. I was happy to see people change the play calling and we won. They didn't have to manipulate the ratings. They didn't have to manipulate the players. They didn't have to do a total rebuild. They just changed the play calling. So this is a good study aid. I know these kids. I know they play this game. I think I actually heard one NFL player said that that's how they kind of sharpen their mindset with Madden. They play against their opponent. It makes sense. This is on analytics. This is a study guide. It's glaring. It's like the Cliff Notes. Like if you were in school and you had to read an assignment and they told you had to get the Cliff Notes, that's what this is. This is the Cliff Notes. They've done all the work. They put it all together. You just have to watch the game and keep playing it until you realize what you need to do to get better. That's it. That's what this is. And I bet bettors use this. Bettors can actually use this. When you have a game like CU versus Georgia Tech, right? And they have us going 5-7, which is ridiculous. They only went 7-6. You kind of have to look at that. And they say we're going to lose by a field goal, 3 or 4 points. And then you play this game and it is close. You just have to figure out who it is you're going to put your money on because Colorado had the better schedule. They're going to say Georgia Tech had the stiffer competition, but CU is good. So if I had to bet, I'm going with CU based off these results right here. Because if all we have to fix is the defense, then that's play calling. That it starts there. It starts there. It's not a coincidence people change the play calling in one. All right, so let's see what y'all saying before we get out of here. Let's see. It said those Monarch notes used to be hidden too. Yeah. Any type of anybody that sit down and do the work for you and you just gotta like glance, read it real quick. That's a study aid. That's all it is. Byron Leftwich is an opportunity to develop Juju on an elite level. So what is he pondering? Is another school making him an offer, or he don't know if he want to come out of retirement? Let me know about Byron Leftwich. I heard Coach Prime say that in another coach too. Should be fun to watch. I agree. I think it's gonna be a fun game. I don't think it's gonna be boring. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think if we come with the right play calling and they get these guys to do their assignments just like the O-line did their assignments, we gonna win for sure. But it is a combination of things. It's not just one thing. And you gotta fix the defensive unit. But we got some dogs. That's why Coach Pryor was talking about Byron Leftwich because Schumer play calling sucks. So why is he the OC? I'm sorry. Maybe I should be asking that in a closed setting, but help me. Help me understand. Amber was saying goodnight to Crowley. So I don't get it. That's the next change. Like if this don't work out, it ain't the players. We have too much talent. One thing about it, the talent alone with the right play calling, and you see they in condition, and that likely played into missed assignments too. The stamina and ability to keep up and not being in shape because these guys look different. They look like they in shape now. So you add that component to it. If they make their assignments, right? And we had a pretty decent score overall. Hell, the defense, in my opinion, had better grades than the offense. Yeah, yeah. Because the running back, everybody just had a B. The defense had some pretty good grades. And even though I don't think they use people like the top people that I would probably use, and that's where once we get to play the game, we can sub in, put in who we want to put in, and see what that looks like with people that we think would start. Um, I think if the defense get it together, I think we're gonna be all right. But that defensive play calling, losing at the line of scrimmage, I don't give a damn if you ain't got no run game. You still have an air attack, right? Your quarterback got legs, he can run. But if you don't have a defense, that's why a quarterback who can't pass, that's why he had 3 touchdowns. That happened 3 times, and you didn't solve for it the other 2. It should have happened. It should have never happened because you know who you're playing. But it happened 3 times. What is that? It's play calling. That's what I think it is. If not, you needed to rotate players. If they miss their assignments twice, why should they get a third opportunity? And we talked about that last year with CU too. So, all right, y'all. It was fun. We're gonna get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. This was really fun. I know people will come along and watch the replay because not everybody's up late. So I put the notes, what she said, notes on the screen. Hopefully they can watch it. You know, and maybe we'll just keep the conversation going in the chat. But this was fun. I think the actual game is going to be fun. I think it's going to be close. I think we're going to be on the edge of our seats at some point. But I do think we can win. If we get the right play calling, we're going to win. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. This was too much fun. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night. Gracie, what you were saying before we go? Outside of Clemson and possibly Miami, the ACC is not what it used to be. Interesting. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of people are having a fantasy teams playing right now, so I'll probably check out some ACC teams on the game. All right, thank you, Gracie. Thank you, everybody else. Thank y'all. Good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. It was fun. Until tomorrow, thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.